All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. Chris Wynn in the studio. We're going to find out what went down at that Nevada-Reno-Utah State game. Duke Reitenhouse with the Reno Gazette will be joining us in hour number 2, so we will get to that. I don't know, JD just told me he's had some trouble performing in the last few years. You should call Dr. Orakaki. Give him a call, JD. Give him a buzz.
I texted him a couple of times.
You did. Orakaki. That is just one of the best names ever for a erectile dysfunction. I have to say that. Anyway, we were talking a little bit about what a transition, talking about that, then going to Michael Jackson and possible sexual abuse. But we're taking calls at that at 257-5396. Your thoughts on this HBO series. I also want to get to the House Democrats announcing a broad probe into Donald Trump. Let's take a quick phone call here from Frank. Frank, thanks for calling into the Vegas Take. How are you, Frank?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Doing good, Frank. What's on your mind?
Can we sway away from Michael Jackson?
What would you like to talk about, Frank?
I'd like to talk about real news.
Okay. What would you like to say in regards to real news?
Okay. I want to get to politics. Can we talk about when Michael Cohen was in front of Congress?
Mm-hmm. What about it?
Okay. And all the fake news stations were all talking about Cohen. Stormy.
Well, the Cohen
Russia,
story was a big story,
Russia.
though. Well, that was still a big story, was it not? I mean, you don't think?
Yeah, I agree. It was a big story. But do you know what's going on in the world? Do you know what the real news is?
Tell me, Frank.
Tell me.
Well, all the fake news were reporting on Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
Over in India and Pakistan, they are at DEFCON 4. And you know it is after DEFCON 4, DEFCON 5. And that is what Don Knotts said on the Andy Griffith show.
Frank, can I ask you a question? Do you watch Fox? Do you think Fox News is fake news?
That's real news.
Then how come they weren't covering this?
Yes.
I don't know why anyone wasn't covering this.
So why would you call? Hold on, Frank. I hear you, Frank. So I just want to ask you a question though, just so we can be fair here. I would imagine you think CNN and MSNBC are fake news. I just asked you a specific question. If you thought Fox News was fake news, you said no, they're real news. And then I just said, well, they weren't covering this story.
I didn't say Fox News was real news. Why didn't anyone report?
Yes, you did.
That India and Pakistan are at DEFCON 4.
Frank, you absolutely said that Fox News was real news.
You just said that Fox News was real news. We're reporting real news.
Frank, stop gaslighting us.
Fox News is real news. Where are you getting that from? I never said it.
From you. Okay, possibly you misspoke. Okay.
I didn't say that.
All right, so you don't think that any news organization should have covered the Cohen case, even though you admit it was a big story. Is that what you're saying?
What? Well, listen,
I'm trying to
know your first name. I'm sorry, I forget your first name.
You can call me fake news, Frank. How's that?
Yes.
Since you like to use the same term that you like to use.
Think that India and Pakistan are now at DEFCON 4, and when it gets to DEFCON 5,
I heard you say that.
We are going to have a nuclear war.
Okay,
and
we're not going to have. Excuse me, Frank.
The nuclear war,
with all due respect, we are not going to have a nuclear war. Why would you say that? Our own intelligence doesn't say that. Why would you say it? Do you know?
India and Pakistan are at
oh my
DEFCON
goodness
4.
gracious! All right, Frank. I appreciate the call, buddy. Please take your medication next time. I appreciate you calling in.
You're very passionate.
That was one of the worst phone calls this
Frank.
This show has ever gotten. That was absolutely atrocious.
We take probably 2,000 calls a week.
That was a weird one.
The show's been going on for a little over, a little less than a year. We've probably taken 12,000 calls total.
For the record,
that was definitely a top 5
for the record,
bad
Frank.
call.
I am leveling off at DEFCON 6. For the record, just go in my restroom, and it's nuclear weapons in there. Okay, appreciate the call, but that was just quite bizarre. Anyway, he did say that Fox News was real news. By the way, I'm not making that up.
Well, and he said that, and he pointed out that all the other stations were fake news, which is 100% BS as well too.
I just like pinning buffoons like that in a corner.
Yeah.
But anyway, have fun with your DEFCON. I appreciate that. Thank you for the call. So House Democrats, which is what I wanted to get to, are announcing this broad probe into allegations of obstruction of justice. It appears that it could be the start of possible impeachment. And again, I don't know that for sure, but I can tell you right now, Donald Trump's daughter could be subpoenaed. Members of Donald Trump's family could be subpoenaed. There is no question about that. And if you look at what exactly this probe is all about, we're talking about every single entity and every single person that has ever worked for Donald Trump. So, JD, do you think this is just fake news, that it's a nothing there? Or do you think that Democrats are actually doing this for the purpose of trying to figure out whether Donald Trump broke the law, serious or not?
Do you know how long this probe is going to take? Donald Trump's had 5,000 LLCs, Brian.
Okay.
He's had over, I don't know, at least 1,000 employees.
Mm-hmm. So, what's your point?
This probe's going to, if they're actually going into every single entity he's ever created, every single person he's ever done business with, and his family, it's going to take them 4 years to get it done.
It could take at least a few
doubt.
years.
That's 100% true. Yes. That doesn't really change anything, though.
Yeah. So what, though? What's your point?
Okay, so what if he doesn't win in 2020? Then what happens?
It continues.
Yeah, it continues because if he broke the law, if he committed felonies, he will go to jail. What I can say is they've sent letters to 81 people and entities, and this is the Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler. He announced today a sweeping investigation into Trump's campaign, businesses, transition, and administration. And I'm totally okay with it. Look, if they don't find anything, then great. Then we don't have to worry about it anymore. I mean, you're laughing, but this is a serious situation. This is not something to laugh about.
It's not a serious situation. They're trying to find anything they possibly can.
Why would you say they're trying to find any? If there's Chris, help me out.
I want to give you guys kind of a background on this and why this is happening. Okay, the result of this is the midterm elections. This is why this is happening. Okay, the reason why this is going down is because we now have a Democratic-controlled House of Representatives. All right, Donald Trump has been president for 2 years. All right, for the first 2 years there was no oversight. Okay, this is something that is called oversight. Okay, that this is what Congress does.
This is not
okay.
Oversight.
So this is what. Well, no, this is a direct result of the elections of the Democrats now controlling the House of Representatives. This is something that hasn't been going on for 2 years, right? There's been no oversight. There has been, for all intents and purposes, okay, a rubber stamp for the Trump administration and for Donald Trump, because Congress, both the House and the Senate and the White House, has all been controlled by the GOP and by Republicans.
Okay,
so now this is a result of what's happening.
Okay, say Trump doesn't win in 2020 and he gets convicted of a couple of crimes and he ends up going to jail, as Brian says, which will never in a million years happen.
Well, no, you just said what if that happens? You just asked the question. What if that happens?
What kind of precedent? If that happens, that happens. What kind of precedent would that set for? That means that you could actually put somebody in jail. You could dig into their history, their business history, their personal history over the course of 10, 20, 50, however long you want to, and you can put them in jail.
If President Trump
over the smallest possible thing, no matter what it is.
JD, you got to think of it like this: if President Trump goes to prison, okay, is convicted of crimes, it's because he has committed crimes. Okay, it's because it's not a witch hunt. It's not like stuff is being made up. Okay, if he ends up going to prison, it's because he had some violations that have taken place.
I agree.
Right?
I want to ask the callers, what do you guys think about this? The House Democrats announcing this broad probe into Donald Trump. Do you think what Donald Trump says every day about the Robert Mueller investigation, is this a witch hunt? Or do you think it's fair that Democrats open up a probe like this? I believe Republicans would do the same thing if it was a Democrat. I'll open up the phone lines, 257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the program, 257-5396. I think the president, it's fair game. I think the Democrats have a right to do this. I think we will have to wait and see how it goes.
Have the Republicans ever done this before to anybody else?
As far as the president goes?
Yes,
yes.
They did it to Hillary. They did it to the Secretary of State back in the mid-2000s.
Has this ever happened?
They've
dug into every single entity they've ever been involved in, and anybody they've ever done business with, and their family.
Well, we don't
know exactly what the scope is.
We've never had a president like this before.
That's the scope that you just said. That's what you said. That's what you just said it was.
We don't know the exact details as of right now what they are digging into.
Let me give you a few examples. Okay, first of all, we've never had a president like this before.
How much is this going to cost?
Okay,
how much tax?
Okay, well,
payer dollars are going to actually be spent doing this.
Republicans weren't asking those types of questions when they did 8 investigations into Benghazi. And by the way, Bill Clinton was impeached. Okay, and rightfully so. I didn't have a problem with that. But if the president, and that was for lying, okay? We know that Donald Trump lies every day. Let's take a couple of calls on this. Again, the number, if you want to be a part of the show, 257-5396. Let's go to Robbie. Robbie, thanks for calling into the Vegas Take. How are you, Robbie?
What's up,
I'm
Robbie?
doing good, thank you.
What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to say, man, all the Democrats are going to be doing is just wasting the tax
exactly
dollars like they have been.
Robbie, can I ask you a question then?
Sure.
Were you making the same complaint when there were 8 investigations into Benghazi?
Well, no, but that's a whole different situation.
So
right there.
wait a second. What do you mean? Well, no. There were 8 different investigations.
Well,
what do you mean? Well, no.
And it was over a number of years, by the way. It wasn't just the 2 years that the Mueller investigation has been going on.
Robbie, I don't have a problem with you when it comes to that opinion. If you think it's a waste of money, okay.
Absolutely.
But you need to be consistent. Do you understand what I'm saying? On the left and the right. I'm going to tell you right now, after a couple Republican investigations into Benghazi, it should have stopped.
Brian, what exactly happened with Benghazi? Why? What did Hillary Clinton do?
There was no criminal wrongdoing.
What was she accused of? What did she do?
Criminal wrongdoing. She was accused of criminal wrongdoing.
Which ended up with what?
The Republicans accused her.
Americans died because of something that she didn't do.
Absolutely.
That has not happened with Donald Trump.
She has not broken any
totally
laws.
different.
She didn't break any laws. No, she didn't.
Did.
No, she didn't. In Benghazi? No, she didn't.
Was Hillary Clinton charged with any crimes?
Hillary Clinton cost several Americans their lives.
See, you can't say. Look, was she charged and convicted with any crimes in regards to Benghazi?
That's because she had everybody in her back pocket. That's why.
Okay, ifs and buts were candy and nuts. What a Merry Christmas we'd all have. Okay, you want to talk about stuff that that could have happened or should have happened? That's fine. But I'm talking about it's 2019. Okay, and what was the direct result? What happened to Hillary Clinton in regards to with respect to Benghazi and by the way, not just Benghazi, okay? What happened with the emails, okay? Is she in prison? Has she been charged? Let me ask you guys all something, okay? Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, have they been charged with any crime or convicted of any crime over the past 2 decades?
No, the answer is no.
Yes. Thank you very
bottom.
much.
Robbie,
okay?
I'll end by saying this. I asked you a very simple question. Did you have a problem with any of the Benghazi investigations? You paused and you said, well, no. You have zero credibility. Go ahead, JD.
He definitely has some credibility.
No,
Brian,
he doesn't.
Do you have any idea how many investigations take place when a military death takes place? Do you have any clue?
Not 8.
It's quite a few.
Quite a few is very different than 8.
They look into every single element of that, as they should, because those are members of the United States military.
And you know what?
And Hillary Clinton let them die.
And you know what? Investigations, 1 or 2 investigations into Donald Trump, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Into his personal affairs.
If he broke
trying
the law,
to find something to embarrass him.
Yeah, well, you don't
totally
know that.
Different.
You don't know that.
This guy is not costing American soldiers their lives.
First of all, this has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with American soldiers.
Donald Trump is charged or is alleged to have done other things. It has nothing to do with what Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton have done.
Let's take a few more calls. Let's go to Doug. Doug, thanks for calling in. How are you?
What's up, Doug?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm just annoyed by this whole thing, to be honest with you. Of course, most of the things you talk about I'm annoyed with. But
okay.
This particular one, the Founding Fathers never intended for presidents to go under constant investigation over their personal lives. That was stated that should not happen. If you've got something like this, it should wait till after.
So were you okay with Bill Clinton being impeached then, sir?
Based on what he did, lying,
if you have a problem with lying, then why can't we go after Trump?
Well, no. What I'm saying is that he got caught lying to Congress, just like these people that have got caught lying under this probe that Trump's been under. Okay, well, that's fine, I guess, if that's what you're going to do. Do I think it should have happened? No, I don't. Not for Clinton.
So you're okay. So you're okay with the president lying under oath?
No, but they shouldn't be put in a situation where that happens. And
put in a situation.
Put in that situation either.
All right, let me ask you a question. Okay, you said because you say it's basically like it's a you think it's a witch hunt. Do you think the Mueller investigation is a witch hunt? It's just a probe, and it's something that should have never taken place. Is that your stand?
My stand is if they were going to investigate Trump, they should have investigated Clinton for the same thing because she's guilty of it.
They did investigate Hillary Clinton, didn't they? And she was Secretary of State. She wasn't even president.
No, they actually didn't. They
didn't. There wasn't a Benghazi investigation. There wasn't an investigation extensively into emails
Doug,
into Hillary Clinton.
Doug, I appreciate the call, but with all due respect, you are absolutely all over the place.
Thanks for the call, Doug.
Yeah, and by the way, we're all missing the point here. The reason why the House is starting these investigations, it's for things like corruption.
They're very, very power hungry.
This is the wording, JD,
and they have
that
a
they're
little
using.
bit of power.
It's called corruption. It's called high crimes and misdemeanors. Okay, and these are the things that Donald Trump is going to be facing in regards to this investigation. It's not anything to do with Hillary Clinton.
Let's take another call. Let's go to John. John, thanks for calling in. How are you?
What's up, John?
John, you're on the Vegas Take. Can you hear me? How's it going, John? John, are you there? I think we're having some issues with the phone lines. John, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that, John. Go ahead. We're having some issues with the phone line. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to figure out why you think it's okay for the House to spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and probably millions.
Oh, this is going to cost tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars
to investigate a president that has had many successes and many failures in his personal life throughout his years.
Okay, but the issue is not...
Who's obviously been involved in business at a high level for at least 30 or 40 years.
You want me to answer, or you want to answer, Chris?
You do it, Brian.
Okay. First of all, John, there's evidence and there are reasons why we are investigating this president. The Robert Mueller investigation has not ended yet, but a lot of people around the president of the United States have lied. They have lied to the FBI. They have pled guilty. And there are a lot of, and by the way, he could have broke campaign finance laws. Now, it's very simple.
He could have.
Yeah, he could have, right. And that's why there's something.
You wish. Do you dream about it every night, Brian, and hope it happens?
Okay, well, no, let me answer that for you, John. Hold on. John, okay, you guys can keep laughing, but I'd like to answer the question.
That's actually a strong possibility.
Okay, can I answer the question? Thank you. John, that is the most idiotic thing you could ever say. When have I ever said on the show that I wished Donald Trump committed a felony?
Brian, you just said we in regards to the House in their investigation.
I can't hear what you said, John. Go ahead.
Arguments are clouded over by
be specific.
Your hate for
John, you just made a statement. John, you just made a statement, and you said, I hope that Donald Trump basically committed a felony. That's what you just said. It is.
I believe from everything that you have disseminated to your audience over.
You know what I believe, John? I believe you're a right-wing hack. I believe you're a way to the right, and you label. No, wait. Let me finish. Okay, Mr. Right-wing independent, you make judgments on people because I go after Donald Trump. You just assume that I want him to go to jail, and you couldn't be wrong.
Say anything sensible or anything in the middle. It's always so far to the left.
Right. You just assume I'm on the left because I criticize the president for sleeping with a woman after he had a child. I criticize the president for lying constantly. I criticize the president for going on a stage and siding with Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un. That's why I criticize him for. Now, if you want to label me left for that, then goodbye. Okay? You're not an independent. You're a right-wing hack. That's what you are. You're a Trump wannabe. And when Trump said you can vote, you'd vote for me if I shot somebody on 51st Street, he was talking to you, John. You're no independent. You're no independent at all. Goodbye. Let's go to Justin. Justin, thanks for calling the Vegas Steak. How are you, Justin?
What's up, Justin?
I wanted to say, I just think that if there was really anything to it, I would think Robert Mueller would have been the person to catch this whole thing. And,
well, he will be, right? Won't he be?
Well,
he will be, right?
We don't know yet. So,
obviously we don't.
If he does catch something, then he catches something. But if he doesn't, they automatically started these investigations before his investigation was complete. So that's what makes me think that they're just trying to dig for something that's not there.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go that far.
These are definitely two investigations simultaneously on top of each other.
Well, and you talk about Hillary Clinton, but Hillary Clinton's husband, had a meeting on the tarmac with the Attorney General,
which I thought was inappropriate. But what does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Then they find out that there are all these left wing, or I wouldn't want to say left wing, but more Democratic people in the FBI that had Hillary's back. So that was rigged. So that
Justin, can I comment on that? Let me be very clear.
We could talk about Seth Rich.
If anybody on the left committed any crimes, I want them to pay for it, Justin. That does not make anything that possibly Donald Trump did illegal. It doesn't mean we shouldn't be able to investigate that. I'm being as clear as I can. It's
just interesting how you basically put letting American soldiers die through negligence.
You keep saying that like it's fact.
On the same level as someone not reporting their estate at a strong enough value and being accused
you can't state
of
that as
insurance
fact.
fraud.
It's not been established whatsoever that's the case.
I appreciate the call, Justin. I'm going to be honest with you right now. You're entitled to your opinion, but that is clownery what you just said. To say that Hillary Clinton wanted our own soldiers to die is ridiculous.
Accessory to murder is basically what you're saying.
Wanted them to die.
Is it possible that she could have made a mistake? Yeah. You know what else was a mistake? And I don't hear you talking about this. How about the hundreds of thousands of our soldiers that died in the Iraq War? Do you blame George W. Bush for that? George W. Bush killed our soldiers. I never hear you talk about that. 4 people died, and one person
Brian,
is too many.
We've actually never, ever discussed that before.
So answer the question. Answer the question. Did George W. Bush kill a bunch of our soldiers when he decided to invade Iraq?
George W. Bush put us into that war, yes. Did he kill the soldiers? Absolutely not.
Did Hillary Clinton kill the soldiers?
People die in wars.
Did Hillary Clinton kill the soldiers?
Could have done something that she decided not to do something.
And how about George W. Bush with the war in Iraq?
That's totally different, Brian.
No, it's not.
How is it not?
Soldiers died because of George W. Bush going into an ill-advised war.
An ill-advised
Admit
war?
it. It was an ill-advised war. Admit it. There were no weapons of mass destruction. Complain about that. If you're going to complain about Hillary Clinton, complain about that. Don't laugh. You brought it up.
And I want to point out to you guys, this has absolutely zero to do with what is transpiring with Donald Trump and these investigations, right, JD and Bri? This has nothing to do with the whole thing with Donald Trump. It has nothing to do with it.
Where are you
JD's
going?
getting fired up.
Why is that unreasonable?
If he did things that are wrong, that are criminal, that are against
Just
the
as
law,
Hillary Clinton,
he should be held accountable, right, JD? He should be held accountable.
If Hillary Clinton broke the law and she committed felonies, I would want her in jail as well. But if Republicans are going to scream out, lock her up, when all these people around the Trump administration are literally going to be locked up, then I want the same for Donald Trump. I want the same for, if you're going to call out Hillary Clinton for what happened in Benghazi, you need to call out George W. Bush for what happened in Iraq. I'm sorry, but I'm being honest and I'm being logical.
For being involved in a war?
For being involved in an ill-advised law for oil, not to go after Osama bin Laden, which he didn't. This was not about Osama bin Laden. This was about, going after oil. And Saddam Hussein was found, we got to take a break, but Saddam Hussein was found in a hole with a pellet gun and a candy bar, okay? Not a threat to this country. Osama bin Laden was a threat to this country. I'm glad Barack Obama found him. I'm glad they found Osama bin Laden, and they killed that bastard, okay? I want people held to account, but I am not going to sit here and say that, Hillary Clinton, I'm not going to accuse Hillary Clinton of killing innocent soldiers. Could she have made mistakes? Absolutely. George W. Bush made mistakes also. But I'm not going to call George W. Bush a murderer, just like I'm not going to call Hillary Clinton a murderer. I'm just not going to go that route. We got to take a quick break. We got a lot of people on hold. We got Brad, Wayne, Brian. Guys, please wait patiently on hold. I promise you we will get to your calls when we come back. I like a good spirited, heated debate. JD, you can't leave the studio if you disagree with me. You can't.
You're trying to, though.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back right after this. You're listening to the Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM KDWN.